Okay, so this topic is called number patterns. It's a little bit related to algebra. Okay, so we are going to explore some concept and formula first, and also the kind of term that we use for this topic. Okay, so basically, a number pattern is a number sequence. A number sequence means it will be an ordered list of numbers. That means there is an order. The first number, the second number, the third number, the fourth number. So there must be a certain order of to the numbers. So the numbers are not mixed up. And the numbers come from a particular rule. So this rule is like a formula. So there will be a formula that generate the numbers. Okay, so that's why it's a little bit related to algebra. Okay, so let's look at the idea first. Okay, point number two, the terms in a sequence. So every number, we're going to call every number a term. Okay, we're going to call every number a term. Okay, and there's a symbol to it. So for example here, 2 is the first term. So T1 represents first term. Then after 2 comes the number 4. So this one is called second term. T2 means second term, the second one. Then next one, 6. That means this is the third term. P3 means third term. Then 8, fourth term. So it can go on and on. So you can have the fifth term, the sixth term. So you can have T5, T6, T7, all the way to a lot of numbers of terms. Okay, so every term, every number is called one term. First term, T1, second term, T2. So it goes on and on. So there will be something called a general term. The general term is like a formula. It's the formula that generates those numbers up. So I can show you an idea. So for example, this is the general term, or sometimes we will call it the nth term. So it is a formula. Okay, so if let's say I would like the fifth term means n is equal to 5. That means the number here will be changed to 5. That means, right, all the n here will also be changed to 5. Then you punch your calculator to get the number. So here that will be a 77. So in fact, right, okay, if I got the n term, if I got the general term, I can generate out a lot of terms. So maybe I want to generate a T1. T1 means it will be like this. So I will get 5. T2. So I will generate out the number. And T3. And I can go T4. So with all this, okay, I can arrange them in order. So the first one will be a 5. The second one will be a 14. The third term will be a 20. The fourth term is a 50. And then the fifth term is a 77. So as long as I got the general formula or general term, I can generate out all the numbers. You can generate a lot of numbers, okay, whichever number that you want. Okay, so this is the idea of a general term. Okay, the common one will be an even number. So even number is like 2, 4, 6, 8. And then the general formula is 2n. So what do we mean by the general formula is 2n? So for example, n equal to 1. You put into this formula, you get a 2. N equal to 2. You put into this formula, you get a 2 times 2. N equal to 3. You put into the formula, you will get a 2 times 3. So that's how you generate out So 2n is the general formula for even numbers. Okay, for odd numbers is 2n minus 1. So you can try putting in n equal to 1, you get a 1. Then you try putting in n equal to 2, you punch calculator, you will get a 3. You put in n equal to 3 into the formula, you get a 5. Okay, and then we got square numbers. 1, 4, 9, 16. Square numbers is also known as perfect square. That means when n is equal to 1, you got 1 square. N is equal to 2, you got 2 square. N is equal to 3, you got 3 square. Cube numbers will also be known as the perfect cube. So that is the general term. So which means if you put n equal to 1, you get 1 cube, you get 2 cube, you get 3 cube. So that's how we generate out. Okay, so at this moment, you should realize that there is a formula that can generate out a lot of numbers. And then the numbers that they generate out is called a number pattern. Okay, among all the number pattern, the one that is very, very important is known as the sequence with common difference. Okay, so what do we mean by the sequence with common difference? So I gave you an example here first. Essentially, it means that, right, you just keep on adding the same number. You can keep on adding the same number, or you can keep on subtracting the same number. This is the kind of number pattern that we call sequence with common difference. That means you keep adding the same number, or you keep subtracting the same number. So in such a case, right, there will be this thing that you need to take note. You will need to learn this formula. So this is the how you get the general formula for common difference. Okay, so I'm going to show you how do I generate out the formula here. So how do I generate out the formula? Okay, so I'm going to generate out the formula by using the first term and the common difference. So in this case, the first term is equal to 2. And you keep adding the number 3. So when you keep adding the number 3, the common difference is 3. So I'm going to plug into the formula. The first term is replaced by 2. Then the D will be the common difference. So this will be my formula. They do a little bit of algebra. This will be the formula. So you must know how to come up with a general formula for common difference. Okay, later on, there will be more examples. But right now, that's the base idea first. Okay, so how do I know that this general formula is correct? So how do I know that it will be correct? So I'm going to check by putting in n equal to 1. I will get a 2, which is the same thing here, 2. Then I'm going to try putting in T2, the second number. So it will give me a 5, which is the same thing here. So T3, I got an 8. T4, I got an 11. So this is the correct formula that generates out this number. Okay, so this one is what we'll call common difference. It is very, very important. You must remember this formula, including the Sec 4. They also need to remember this formula. So this kind of common difference pattern will keep appearing all the way until O-level. Okay, so for example, okay, later on we'll see some more example on this idea on common difference. Okay, I'm going to show you some basic ones. Okay, this basic one is just to discover the pattern, and then if you discover the pattern, you can write out the next 2 terms. which is the next two numbers. Okay, so let's look at example 1A. So if you look at example 1A, how is the pattern like? Okay, you observe the pattern is like keep multiplying by 2. So if I keep multiplying by 2, my next term will be 48 and 96. When you keep multiplying by 2, it will not be considered common difference. Common difference is only for adding or subtraction. It is only for adding the same numbers or subtracting the same numbers. If it's a multiplication, it's not considered. Okay, and then the next one, this one I think is I think this one should be divided by a -3. You can try punching calculator. Okay. You try punching calculator, you should see that it's divided by -3. So if I want the next one will be -27 divided by -3. I will get a 9. And then I continue to divide by -3. I will get a -3. Okay, the next one, okay, if you observe, do you observe that it is a square number? These are all the perfect square. So this one is like 1 square. This one is like 2 square. This one is 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. So the next term should be a 6 square. 6 square is 36. Then the next one will be 7 square, 49. So you discover the pattern and you can generate more number on your own. Okay, so this one, same thing. This one is discover the pattern. The pattern goes like this. +1, +1, sorry, +2, +3, +4. So I'm expecting the next one to be a +5. And I'm expecting the next one to be +6. So this will be the basic kind. So the basic kind got a lot of patterns. So this basic kind doesn't require you to come up with the formula. Okay, the common difference one is the one that you must know how to come up with the formula. Of course, there are other kind that needs you to find out how to come up with the formula. So this part, at the moment, you must understand that it is a list of numbers that's in orders, and the order of the number is generated by algebra formula.